Okay, sweet. Here we go. Here we go. It's time for play-by-play. Wait, I haven't set up hotkeys on this computer yet because I have too much to do. So I have to manually start that. Are you really going to do that every time? Does that show up? That doesn't show up. Never mind. Hi! Welcome to Play by Play. My name is Sean Bouchard. It is a pleasure to have you here. If you are watching live on Twitch, if you're watching the VODs on YouTube, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you find this interesting and entertaining. I'm also super excited to be playing Quadrilateral Cowboy today. I started this game last week and just super loved it. Wait, let me open my volume thing. I am so professional at this streaming gig. There we go. Just wanted to, there's just one thing that I wanted. Oh, yeah. So, one of the, sorry, Thano, you don't get to make a sound. So there's this weird thing, where, some of you may know the Game Developers Conference, which happens in March, and I traditionally go to it. I spent all of my research budget on a new computer this year, so we'll see if I get to go to it this year, this coming year in 2017. But for years and years, I just want to share this story because this is it's related to you. It's relevant, trust me, and then I'll play video games. For years and years, I applied to get a talk into GDC, because that's a thing as a games academic. GDC is the conference; it's the central hub for game developers to meet every year. There are several other really cool conferences, but GDC is sort of the big one. And so for years, I applied to give a talk there. And could never get in, not because I'm a terrible speaker, although that might be part of the problem, but because I think, this is how I put it down, not that nobody likes me, but my work is in educational games. That's my focus, that's my field, and so for years, that's what I was doing, and that's where I was doing all of my interesting work, and that's where I was developing games. And so when I would try to come up with a topic to pitch for GDC, it was about the stuff that I was doing developing educational games. GDC doesn't really have a great spot for that. They have their main conference, which accepts all sorts of things, all sorts of content, but it's very hard to get into. It's really super prestigious. It's a lot easier to work your way up to that kind of thing through their I think they're called seminar tracks, of which there are several. There's AI and sound, and there's one that is education, and there's one that's indie games. And the stuff that I was doing, although I would certainly categorize it as indie games, wasn't exactly what indie games was looking for. And although I initially thought hey, education, the education track is exclusively interested in games education programs, not in educational games, and they make that very clear. And so I had these talk topics that I could never find a place for, and I'd submit them and they'd get rejected, and I did that for a few years, and then I gave up on it and said, well, it's just not meant to be. I'm not going to get a talk into GDC. Stop trying. And then a couple of years went by, and during those couple of years, without really making the connection, I started teaching. And now I teach several classes a semester. I teach at least a couple classes a semester. So now I'm actually really involved in the education space, what GDC considers the education space. So this was sort of brought to my attention yesterday. The deadline for talk proposals is tomorrow. So I'm going to be spending tonight trying to write a talk proposal. And here's the basic pitch. We'll see. It's a really, really short turnaround. I should have realized a month ago that that this was something that was now a possibility for me, and done it, but I didn't. So here's the pitch. The talk is how Twitch made me a better teacher, and it's going to be about play-by-play, and how I feel like over the last year and a half, which will be 2 years by the time I actually give this talk, if I get to give it, doing this show has helped me in the classroom. It's helped me, and I think, and so this is what I'm trying to figure out. Tonight, I'm gonna sit down and dig into this and try to come with takeaways, right? That, because that's the big thing. What is the audience going to take away from this talk? And so some of it is going to be, hey, do you know what Twitch is? Maybe you don't, because a lot of teachers, even in games programs, don't really super know what Twitch is. This is a thing that all of your students are using. And then sort of talking about how I feel like, first of all, I get to play more games than I otherwise would. And I've talked about this before. This is a venue for me to actually play some games that are really interesting to me, that as somebody who does work in the game space, I have to keep on top of some games, and then there are some games that I just never get to play because I don't have time to play all of the games that I'm supposed to play. So this is a great place for me to stay not current, but keep playing new games. But especially it's a great place for me to practice in situ analysis, and talk about games as I'm playing them and as they're being played, and talk about the game design and practice giving the kind of feedback that I give to my students in design classes, and practice giving the kind of analysis, doing the kind of analysis that I do and ask my students to do in more sort of analysis focused classes. And then specifically the Q&A that we do, I feel like it's such a great opportunity for me to think critically about games in ways that are relevant to people who are like my students, to sort of answer questions and think about the kinds of questions that my students might ask in a classroom. Yeah, that's sort of the high level pitch. I think if I'm gonna fall down on it, it's because I haven't had the time to really noodle over it and do some proper outlining and think about it and flesh it out and then compress it. I'm going straight for the hey, Twitch, is that enough of a buzzword? But I think it is actually super, super relevant and super valuable for teachers to have this kind of experience and to share with their students in this medium. Yeah, that's basically what I got. My hope is that I get this talk and I go and I give it, and I get a bunch of teachers who are that sounds interesting, and they all start Twitch channels, and there's a whole big games analysis movement inside of Twitch, where you've got a bunch of academics who are just like occasionally casting and talking about games and talking about game theory and game production from inside of this platform. I think like that'd be super cool. Okay, so with that all said, now it's like 7:40 because I got started late. Let's play some Quadrilateral Cowboy. Oh yeah, I've been like tiny this whole time. Whatever, it's good. Okay, I was showing this. I was showing this to my design partner, and so I think I created a new. Yeah, this save. I don't want that save. I want this save. Load that one. Perfect. And I think that the sounds are all set up for this game from last week. So let me know if the sound works, if it's okay. All right. I played the tutorial and then I think like 2 chapters. That's sort of vaguely what I recall. So I think, oh no, I got to the end. I must have gotten the end of this chapter. Just trying to orient myself. Was there anything interesting? Like, I think I played for a while. And wait, how do I... Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the same contract. Or maybe it's not the same contract, but it's essentially the same. Right. Okay, so how do I quit? How do I move on? I'm done. I'm done, game. Shit, I took a week vacation, and now I am certain that I was taught how to finish. Is there a button somewhere? Isn't there a button? Please. Oh, contract done. Please use chalkboard. There we go. It's all pointing. It's all pointing at me. I thought I turned those off. Oh, it's another shopping expedition. Wait, the cat merchant has a tiny cat? What? That's adorable. Okay, what are you? Choo-Choo's Contractor's Warehouse? There's fewer guns this time, but there's more missile launchers and also swords. And possibly this is... Oh no. That's not a missile launcher. That's a person launcher. Maybe? Okay, that's the launcher. And that's its target. Let me look at this. Can I just say, this company, Blendo, sort of famously does this really good environmental narrative, and not even, I'm not even thinking about environmental narrative. They do like perfectly serviceable environmental narrative. They do this like really fantastic environmental tutorialization, which is something that you see in, I mean, a lot of games. You see it in some games. Like, it is not unknown, but they take it to a level that like nobody else can touch. Where everything that I need to know about how to interact with the world is on sticky notes and chalkboards and overhead projectors and all of this kind of beautiful nonsense. Bienjinsu Differential Turbine Launcher Mark III, Mark II, Trajectory, Launcher Destination. Use launcher to propel equipment, acquisitions, and personnel. Use remote, hold, carry, stash. Right? So a little bit like my laptop. So I can pick it up, I can hold it, I don't know what that... Why does it have a cord? Oh, this is how I see. This is how I control it. Oh, wild. And then I can drop that. And then I can stand on it and go like that. And I can just pick it up like so. And then it becomes, it's going to be part of my kit, right? So I'm going to have it launch me like out. Wait, I can't see the remote. Oh. Did I not understand how that worked? Okay. Whatever. I seem to have gotten it to work now. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Alright. I'm done. I did it. Did it. How do I go? Oh, look at that nice light